feel as if this is an unbelievable matchup for the Spanish visitors. We've got Liverpool, and they're at +1. I don't want to complicate it. +125 to lift the trophy. They're joint favourites with Man City, and Villarreal are +2,000 to become the Champions League champions 2022. But in this game, it's Liverpool -360. Liverpool having to give up a 2-goal lead, so -1.5 is at -125. Now Villarreal, they've knocked out Bayern Munich. Unbelievable. Didn't even bother. They just made sure that they stayed tough, they stayed together, and they got their reward. Villarreal are +1100. Villarreal +1.5 is at +105. The draw at +475. This is where I think it's gone a little bit wrong, and the books have adjusted, because yesterday I took Villarreal and Liverpool under 3 goals. I don't see 4 at +100. It's now -115, so a 15% drop there, because the money, no one sees 4 goals, they see 3 as a free hit. But listen, I wouldn't be surprised if you see under 1.5 in this game, and we'll talk about it as we go. But team total, Liverpool +120 to score 3 times against this Villarreal side, or -150 to be under 2.5. Villarreal just to score is -120. Mina, you can go first, because it's Liverpool versus Villarreal, and I think this is the worst matchup for the hosts.
Yeah, we were actually discussing this off air, and I was saying to Mark that despite the fact that Villarreal have done such a good job against Juventus and Bayern, what they did is attack teams that had a clear imbalance and sides that were not very well built, I guess, in certain areas, or at least had gaps within the team. And so, a lot has been said about Nagelsmann's choices and sub, obviously, with Alphonso Davies, and Juventus just couldn't break through that strong defense or whatever it is. But I don't watch Villarreal and think to myself, this is the team that can really shock you or create madness, or can defeat a superpower that's well prepared for them, or that doesn't have those gaps. Liverpool, for me, are the best team right now in Europe. I honestly think that whoever you put into the side, whoever they rotate, whatever's done there, they're just a side that I honestly cannot see where the weaknesses lie. I don't see performance after performance that's thrilling by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, Everton managed to hold them for so long, right? And we've seen performances where Benfica managed 3 goals against them, although they did have 7 different, they made 7 changes to that team. They don't necessarily thrill every match, but they get the job done, and they can always let their system play. They find goals. I don't know how it happens, but they find goals everywhere. And so I just look at this team, and I think there isn't really a gap that Villarreal can really try to stop, or to try to use and utilize to score a goal. And it'll be that much harder if they don't have Gerard Moreno or Coquelin. And there are potentially 2 big absences for Villarreal. I don't know if they've actually been confirmed quite yet. We are looking, obviously, Dan Juma doing something special. We're looking at Celso being able to create something. And I do trust him, Pau Torres and Raul Albiol. I think they're tactically smart. I can't see Liverpool scoring 3 goals against this Villarreal side that Bayern, that Juventus, everyone has really struggled to score against a goal against them. So I think maybe 2. I don't know about whether or not Villarreal can score a 1 against them. So I'm probably going for a 2-0 victory. I think that might be where I see it, but you never know, because Villarreal do have the ability, and there can be mistakes in Liverpool's backline when they do feel that the result is secure.
Marco, here I see nothing between these 2 sides on personnel and matchup by the way they want to play. Let's just take Villarreal's positives. They snuffed out Canabry, Coman and Sane. So then you put in the same as Salah or Mane or Jota, and then you have Lewandowski and you have Muller. Then you're going to have, well, I don't even know what happened there. Have I lost my, the numbers have gone up again, have they? Anyway, let me go back to my train of thought, because I just think that they're going to get tight. They're going to play 5 across the back. And then I'm looking at the likes of Henderson, Thiago, Fabinho and Keita to be the ones that have got to do the creativity. Now, with the 2 athletic front screens that Villarreal have, I don't see them breaking them down, and I certainly don't see 3 goals. Marco, how do you see this game?
Yeah, I don't see three or more goals either. Another high goal expectancy here. Most of, as you say, the heavy lifting needs to be done by Liverpool, according to the odds. And I think it's being slightly disrespectful to Villarreal to suggest Liverpool are that short a price to score 3 goals or more. Bearing in mind, just another reminder: Champions League semi-final first leg. It's a big occasion. There are going to be nerves and pressure, but ultimately this is Liverpool and. I agree with Mina. Like, there's very difficult to try and find a weakness in this team. For me, Liverpool right now are the best team on the planet. It's at Anfield, a European night, big occasion. We talk about all these kind of stereotypes, but they talk about them often because they're true. Really, they seem to come true, particularly at Anfield. And at the same point, though, irrespective of opposition, I just don't see this occasion being a blowout. Particularly not with Unai Emery in charge of a Villarreal team who have grinded their way with some superb counter-attacking football and strong defensive displays, particularly against Bayern. Juventus are obviously not the same level of Juve who we've known previously, but I thought was interesting. I did some analysis on the Villarreal Bayern Munich ties. Over 2 games, they did concede 45 shots, but 25 of those 45 shots were from outside the penalty area. Bayern generated an XG of just 3. And failed to. Well, they only created one big chance, which is where the statisticians say that an attacker has got a reasonable expectation to score. So they were very good at kind of keeping Bayern away from key moments,
Mark,
key
let
areas.
me interrupt you, right? And that is with maybe one of the top 3 strikers, number 9s in world football.
Yes, but their movement is not perfect. Their movement and their tactical manner is not as perfect as Liverpool. So forget about the names, but look at the movements and which player can come deep and shorten and work together.
But they come deep, Mina, but the Villarreal defenders will not come out their holes.
You don't think so?
No. I agree, Mina. I think a lot of Bayern's play across the 2 legs was pretty brainless in possession.
Yes.
There was a lot of just headless running around and shooting from distance and not a lot of ingenuity, really. And chuck in Thiago, a fit and available Thiago for Liverpool, who's been playing some incredible football this season. Suddenly you have a playmaker who's able to unlock the tightest of defences. You've got a front 3 or front 5, possibly a front 6 now, with Origi playing his way back into the sort of setup after his goal in the derby. They've got so many options. And the difference between Liverpool and Bayern was, you look at the second leg, Bayern chasing that tie. The best attacker they could bring off the bench was Choupo-Moting. You look at the bench that Liverpool could bring off the bench. Like, you've got Diaz, Firmino, whereas Origi, Minamino potentially. You can't start all of them. So some of those players are going to be on the bench, and that's a big difference. And also, I think stylistically, this will suit Liverpool more than it would Bayern. Bayern aren't accustomed to playing deep line, compact offences in the Bundesliga. Liverpool are. We saw it at the weekend. Everton tried to do it for them. It might have taken them an hour, but they made the breakthrough. And it's not just that. They've got so many different ways of scoring now. I mentioned Thiago, but also through set pieces. They scored from dead ball situations, I think, in 3 of the last 4 games or something like that. They've got a land of the giants there at the back, and also players elsewhere who can contribute. The delivery from Alexander-Arnold, Thiago, there's so many different ways they can hurt you. And it's not just that, even out of possession, they're one of the best pressing teams to push teams into mistakes as well. So I actually think stylistically this will suit Liverpool more than it would Bayern playing Villarreal. And look, if we want to be coarse and blunt about it, just man for man, Liverpool are streets better than Villarreal, particularly without Moreno as well. They will look towards the sort of the outball of Danjuma, his pace. But Liverpool have one of the most insanely good offside traps at the moment in the Premier League and probably European football. They do play over high defensive line, and I'm sure Emery will try and exploit it. But if you look at the number of offsides Liverpool win off their opponents on a game basis, it's outrageous, really. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be difficult for Villarreal. I just think Liverpool right now are a difficult team to sort of oppose. They're in a groove. They've got great momentum. They're playing with confidence. They really believe they're on the cusp of something quite special, really. The quadruple still looks very unlikely considering the lay of the land in the Premier League. But, this team is relentless and they're going to be absolutely gunning for this. So, yeah, I've got to be with Liverpool here.
Listen, I cannot disagree with when you mentioned, I've actually wrote down here, Liverpool's best chance, I believe, of breaking the deadlock here is from the centre backs. It is actually from a set piece, a delivery. Van Dijk going forward, whether he plays Konate, whether he plays Matip, I do believe that they have got a threat there. I just also see that Villarreal are going to love the fact that they're going to just not come out their holes, squeeze them into the middle, let them have the ball, and then you're asking Fabinho to find a weldy ball, Henderson to find a... Listen, I'm not disrespecting Liverpool. I think Liverpool are one of the top 2-3 sides, but their matchup against Villarreal is absolutely horrendous. I can see this game being a draw. I think Liverpool will probably have a better chance to win 90 minutes when they go away from home next week. I think that will suit them when the onus is on Villarreal to go and win the game. Let's have a little look at the official picks. Let's see. Everyone's been a bit blinded, but they think that it might be a draw half time in this game, and then a little bit like Liverpool being patient. And remember, they've both got managers who can affect the game from off the bench or from just tinkering a little bit and getting a player to play in a different position where he might not be picked up. It's a fascinating game, this one. Liverpool and under 3.5 at plus 100 for Mina. For me, it's just a straight. Don't complicate. I don't see 4 goals. If I see 3 goals, I'm getting a push at minus 115. Liverpool and under 3.5 at plus 110. So what? One of you gets plus 110. One of you gets plus 100. I would take that personally, Mina. Mina, I would take that personally.
Personally, I want more money.
I know, exactly. I would definitely take that personally. But listen, it says what it is on the can. It's Liverpool and under 3.5 for both the experts. Your presenters going for just straight under 3 goals at minus 115. And remember, going into this game, Liverpool are joint favourites at plus 125 to lift the trophy, but Villarreal are plus 2,000. I just see the gap being miles too big.